What is up, everybody? Listen, today I'm going to get really honest. I'm going to get really vulnerable. I'm going to share something with you that happened to me, something that I just went through, that I've been going through, and it's something that you will most likely go through as well. The best entrepreneurs out there, the ones that you hear about all the time, that are at the top of their game, that you see everywhere, that you think are the most successful, they go through it too. And when it happens, you have two choices. So today we're going to discuss this and discuss those two choices you can make and how you can choose the right one to get you to your goals. I spent the last few years building a successful online business while learning from some of the most brilliant marketing minds and coaches on the planet. And now, I've walked away from that business to start over again from scratch. Why? Because, like you, I felt the calling of contribution and the all-consuming need to create a business giving me the freedom to put fatherhood and family first, while fulfilling my calling to share my expertise in order to serve and impact others in a positive way. Join me now as we walk the path together to create the life and business of our dreams. I'm Evans Putman. Welcome to the journey of the Profitable Purposeful Entrepreneur. What is up, Profitable Purposeful Entrepreneurs? Listen, I just realized it's been 10 days since my last podcast went live. 10 days, July 3rd, just before the July 4th holiday. And I have to admit something. I've been a little stagnant. I've been a little stuck. Been a little selfish with my time. And been a little bit overwhelmed at the same time. I'm working on another project. And that took me away from some of my time. But it's really no excuse. And I wanted to jump back on here just to let you know that things like this happen. Here's what happened. I was in a lot of momentum before the 4th of July holiday. I got a lot of work done. I was moving forward on some cool projects that will be coming out very soon. And then I took a few days off for the holiday. Left town, went up to visit my family who was staying, and they were house sitting in another city, in another state. Went on a little quick tour, went to see my mother, dropped the cat off with her to cat sit, then drove up to hang out with my family for 3 or 4 days, sort of took some downtime over the 4th holiday. Then I came back thinking, okay, when I get back, I'll just jump right back into things, jump right back into the podcast, and I lost so much momentum. So when I came back, I didn't get things done like I wanted to. I didn't post on the podcast. I didn't create any podcasts. Haven't been posting on social media. Been reflecting on things, been stuck. I had a meeting with my coach, discussed some of this, and we went over a few things and decided I had two choices. And this is the same thing that you'll experience too when you go through something to this. You have two choices. You can continue to think in your head about why you have not posted another podcast, why you have not created that new landing page, why you have not been doing Facebook Lives, whatever it is that you're doing on a normal, regular basis to stay in momentum. So you can think about those things and focus on the negative, which will keep you stagnant, which will keep you stuck. Or you can just take one foot and step forward. Start momentum again. Now, it's really hard. I'll admit I was horrible in physics. I don't even remember if I took physics in high school. I avoided science classes as much as possible. I don't know why, but I just didn't enjoy them. And now I do enjoy things like that. So who knows? But anyway, I know from the very small amount of physics knowledge that I have, if you've got this massive boulder and you're trying to move it, getting it started is the hardest part. Once you start rolling it and it gets momentum, it becomes easier and easier. So today is the day that I start back into momentum. Actually, it happened a couple days before this is going to go live, but it's time to get back in full speed momentum. And guess what? I've got a family vacation coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm going to push forward as much as I can, get as many podcasts as I can get done. I'm going to get ahead of the game this time so that I will not have 10 days where the podcast does not come out. So I'm pledging this to you now, but I want you to take my words and let you know that it's okay. It happens to all of us. It happens to all entrepreneurs. It's really hard when you go on vacation. I remember Russell Brunson talking about this. It's hard to shut it down. It's hard to not always be in entrepreneurial mode. And when you do, sometimes you come back and it's hard to get going again. And like I said, you have two choices. You can wallow in your self-pity. You can let the ego, justify why you're not doing things, keep you stuck, keep you from moving forward, keep you comfortable sitting there. I binge watched Stranger Things. I finished the whole series. So that tells you where my mind was. My mind was not on work when I came back. And instead of taking that first step the first couple days, I binge watched some Netflix. So there, I'm admitting it. But these things happen, right? So over the last 2 days, I had a deadline. And here's a cool project I want to share with you. And this really helped. This really helped get me back in momentum because I had a deadline yesterday at midnight to turn in a chapter for a book that I've been blessed to be a part of, a book that's got like 30 or 40 influencers and entrepreneurs in it sharing their knowledge in specific parts of their business that they're very good at. I mean, people like Steve Larson are in the book. I believe Rachel Peterson, some big names, and then there's me. And this opportunity was amazing. It came to me to share my knowledge on podcast monetization because as many of you know, and maybe I've shared this before, the last podcast that I worked in, the last business that I was in before I left here, we put a podcast monetization into model that quickly got us up to $500,000 in revenue and more. It continues to grow even after I've left the business. I'm assuming that it will probably be close to $1 million very soon. It also helped us build a massive list, helped us get massive amounts of subscribers, and I was asked to write a chapter on how I did this and why this is important for an entrepreneur. So I had that deadline. So when it was time, I was like, okay, Netflix done, time to get back to business. I had to put that foot forward. I had to make the right choice. I had to start moving forward. I had to write my chapter. And as someone who comes from a writing background, I know that I do really well when the deadline is coming up. I never missed a deadline when I used to write for a local newspaper. Never missed a deadline for my clients when I wrote their sales copy. So I had to get this done. I got it done, got something back from the editor. She told me it was great, made her want to start her own podcast as soon as she read it. And I was like, okay, good. I did a good job. Thank you. It got me into momentum. I got to the gym this morning again for the first time in a while. I've been doing things here or there, walking the dog, doing yoga, things like that. But I got to the gym today for the first time. I did my complete morning routine over the past 3 days. So things are moving forward again, but it wasn't easy once I got stuck, once I stopped the momentum. And it was for a good cause. I mean, I had no guilt when I went on to spend time with my family. In fact, I told myself, I was like, hey, celebrate this time, be in the moment, be present with your family, do not think about work. And I was able to do that the majority of the time. I did some things while I was there, watched some videos, watched some things like that when we had downtime. But when I came back, it was tough to get going again. And it'll happen to you at some point. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best entrepreneurs out there. In fact, I heard Alex Sharfin mentioning that he had been sick recently for 7 days, and it really made him stagnant and made him feel like he was stuck and how he dealt with it. And I don't remember exactly what the process was, but one thing is that he had a team to rely on and that he had to remember that that team could function without him because he has created a system, and it's an amazing system that I was lucky to have access to last year that helps entrepreneurs build a team and step out of the day-to-day so that they can focus on what's important. But even someone like Alex Sharfin, People like Russell Brunson have mentioned this before. It's hard. Once you get out of that routine, that momentum, once it stops, remember, it's hard to get it going again. But you do have two choices. And I made the choice that I had to step forward again. I couldn't just sit there and be stagnant. It's a bad feeling. If you've ever felt it before, I'm sure you understand. So just remember, it's okay to take some downtime. It's okay to fall out of momentum. It's going to happen. But when it comes time to get moving again, do not keep putting it off because it only makes it harder. Make the right choice. Just take one step forward, then take another step. Get that boulder moving. Pretty soon you're going to be right back in momentum. You're going to be racing right back towards your goals. And then when you hit those goals, when you do this each day, remember to celebrate at night. Go to bed with a clear mind thinking, okay, I took 4 or 5 steps forward today. I accomplished what I wanted to get done today. Don't forget to rejoice, to celebrate in your accomplishments. And then the next day, get up and do it again. Continue that momentum. And if you hit a roadblock that stops you, don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. It happens to everybody. Just take another step forward. Hope this helps. I will do my best. I'm going to do my best to continue to put out this content regularly because it serves you and it also serves me as well in my mind to get these things out and to share them with you so that you can continue on your journey and continue moving forward towards your dreams, towards your purpose, and serve your tribe. Everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Listen, everybody, I just want to say thank you and tell you how much I really, really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to listen to the podcast. I want to ask you a favor. If you get value from this, if you enjoy it, please make sure to subscribe. Go to iTunes, whatever the app is you use, subscribe to the podcast, and definitely please leave us a rating or a review. If you can do it on iTunes, that would be awesome. But anywhere that you listen to the podcast, if you could just leave us a rating and a review, we would really appreciate it. And also, if you ever want to get in touch with me, I'm easy to find. You can find me on social media, but you can also send me a direct email. It's Evans, EVANS, at ppepodcast.com. That's Evans at ppepodcast.com. Send us in your questions. Send us in any topics you want me to cover, anything at all. Just send me an email and say, hey, I love hearing from all of you and I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for being an avid listener.